Hey, I'm Austin, the blind editor. Today we're going to go over tracking blurs. This helps when you have a person that's maybe walking across the screen that you need to blur, or you have a license plate that you might need to blur. Let's jump into Premiere and I'll show you how it's done. So here's a quick example of what I'm going to show you today. I have this guy that I blurred. I just grabbed this clip off of Video Blocks. That's a website that you can get stock video. If you've never been there, they have audio, video, sound effects, anything you can think of. Check it out, videoblocks.com. Anyway, so what I'm going to show you is how to do a tracking blur. And so first I'm going to grab my clip and put it on my timeline. Then I'm going to go to my effects panel, grab my Gaussian blur, put that on here. And now there's two methods that you can do this tracking blur. You can let Premiere do it, or you can do it keyframe by keyframe. Sometimes Premiere does a really good job, depending the footage, and sometimes it struggles. So let's go ahead and bump up this blurriness. I grabbed my circle for my mask since it's a face. I'm going to rescale it, put it over this guy here. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit more. And then I'm going to grab my mask path. Now you want to click on the stopwatch for mask path to create your first keyframe. And then I'm just going to skip ahead little by little, and then the guy's there. So then I'm going to move my mask forward, and every time he moves, I'm going to move the mask, is practically the method of this. So he's moved again, grab the mask path, and you always want to make sure that you select mask path. You might notice if mask path's not selected is while you're moving ahead, well then you click on mask and then you can move your mask again. Again, he moved, select mask, move your mask, and so far this is what we have. That's not bad. There's a little bit of move in there, and we could always fine-tune that later. Now let me show you what it would be like if Premiere did this. So I'm going to go ahead and delete my Gaussian blur off the clip. Go back to the beginning of the clip, and it's practically the same thing. At first, you put your Gaussian blur on, you select the mask shape that you want. Again, I'm going to go with the circle. I'm going to rescale my circle. That might work. I'm going to bump up my blurriness. I actually think I'm going to make this circle a little bit smaller. And the method to the way that Premiere does it, it takes the pixels from around where your mask is, and it tries to track those. So dark scenes, things like that, it has a hard time, but as long as there's good contrast, then it'll be able to track it pretty well. So the next step to do this is you'll hit this button right here that looks like a play button, and it's going to go through frame by frame on its own, and it's going to track this. And the longer your clip is, the longer this will take. It seems to be going pretty quick on my computer. Your RAM and things like that have influence on how fast it goes as well. But Premiere's really jumping through this. And there we go. Let's go to the beginning and let's see how Premiere did. Honestly, it didn't do a really bad job. Up until the end, we saw his face here once this woman came into the foreground. But that's not bad for, the time that it took. We could come in here, and now the one thing that this does is it creates a keyframe for every single frame of video. So now to correct this, I would come in here, I would delete the extra keyframes where it started to mess up. Go here, delete that, go forward, there, see him again, grab this mask, grab the mask, move it over, and then I would just finish this out for the remainder of the clip. And I mean, honestly, that wasn't bad. I've seen it do a lot worse. So that does it for this tutorial on how to track blurs. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of it, if you thought this was helpful. And don't forget, I'm on Instagram. You can check it out at The Blind Editor for behind the scenes stuff of my everyday editing and other projects that I'm currently working on. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.